So, you want a system that'll do everything for you, make you rich and guarantee your success. Well, maybe this is not exactly what you expect. The term entrepreneur was first defined as a person who pays a certain price for a product to resell it at an uncertain price, thereby making decisions about obtaining and using the resources while consequently admitting the risk of enterprise. What this tells us is that there is a risk in becoming an entrepreneur. Profits are not guaranteed and never can be, and anyone telling you anything different is simply not telling you the truth. I've been involved in helping people make money for a long time, and I often get people that come to me and want me to guarantee their success. They're prepared to invest money only if they get a refund if they fail to make it work. Frankly, if that's what you're seeking, you're better off with a job, where you know what you'll get in return for your efforts. Now understand, I'm not knocking jobs or trying to be sarcastic or funny. Jobs are great, they're providing comfortable livings for the vast majority of people. I'm just trying to make clear the distinction between being an employee and being an entrepreneur. A successful entrepreneur is someone who makes a decision and takes action on that decision to get a result. And if the result's not the desired result, then the action is modified and tried again. And this process is repeated until the desired result is obtained. So you can see that success as an entrepreneur comes through failure, reacting to that failure and adapting. When Thomas Edison was questioned why he continued to try and find an electric light bulb when he'd failed 10,000 times, Edison replied to the reporters, "I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." So if there's a risk, why be an entrepreneur? Well, because there is a risk involved, the rewards are much greater. Not just financially, but also in when and how you spend your time. For me, the rewards of being my own boss are not really about driving a flash car or owning a mansion. The real rewards are about being able to do what I enjoy and work when and where I want. When my parents were alive, it was wonderful to be able to buy a caravan and take them away and leave them at some resort so that they could spend time and enjoy life. If they had an old appliance or a TV that wasn't really up to scratch, it was so great to just be able to go out and buy them a new one. It's wonderful now to be able to go out with my wife, and if we're hungry, just to find the best restaurant in town and eat whatever we want without worrying about the price. Now these are all simple things in life that being an entrepreneur has brought me, and it can also bring you. Every individual is unique, and because of this, what works for one person will not necessarily work for all people. There are basic structures and formats for a business, but within those structures there are many variables that will determine the ultimate success of a project. Even the greatest salesman in the world will never be able to sell to all the people, and yet you may well be able to sell to a person that he cannot. This is the beauty of us being unique. I've often heard it said that to be successful, just do what successful people do. And whilst this is correct, it's often misunderstood. It doesn't mean that you should copy exactly what a successful person has set up. Harrods, for example, is a successful store, but to copy them exactly would just be a copy, recognised as such, and in all probability would fail. However, if we take the principles behind the store, of offering value, quality, ease of access, great customer service and so on, and we apply those to our own business, then we're on the right track. This is what copying success is about. In online marketing, we're always told that the money is in the list, and that's true. What it refers to is if you have a list of people that you can contact with offers, then you'll make sales by promoting those offers to that list. But once again, this is an oversimplification, because I could give you a list of 10,000 people, you could send your offer to them and never make a single sale. So why is this? Well, first of all, the list must be interested in what you're offering. And importantly, the list must know you, the list must like you, and the list must trust you. Even a proven and responsive list of buyers for the type of offer you have may work well for the list owner, but it may be a dud for you, because you're unknown to them. They don't know, like, and trust you. Being an entrepreneur is all about building trust. It takes time and effort, and because of this, it's not possible to start at the top. Unfortunately, unscrupulous sharks sell the instant success idea to unsuspecting would-be entrepreneurs just to make a fast buck. Instant success without effort is a lie. It always has been, and it always will be. Your success will ultimately depend on you, based upon the dedication and effort you put into delivering a valuable service. So often I see and hear people calling business opportunities a scam because they've not made any money from them. Now, some may well be scams, but the vast majority are serious, well-run opportunities that have many people who achieve high earnings. The big difference is that the successful people worked harder than the failures. They took action and they examined the results. And when they were not the results they wanted, they tweaked and changed things over and over again until they made it work for them and they got the results they desired. This is what being an entrepreneur is about. Now, unfortunately, what works for one person will not work for all people, and that's often misunderstood. You can start by doing the same things, but you'll need to test and tweak until you find something that works for you. There are, as I've said, basic elements and processes that are essential to all businesses, and these can be learned and applied, but you must understand that they are just a starting point and that making them work is up to you. Making the step from employee to entrepreneur is not easy because most of us are not programmed to be entrepreneurs. Now, it's not your fault, it's just the way the system works. We grow up having decisions made for us, first by our parents, and then we go to school where we're told what to do and where to go. Now, these are made in our best interests, but nevertheless, they are made for us. And we're usually given the impression that money is hard to come by, and that if we work and study, we can get a job that will pay us an average or maybe slightly better than average wage. And when we do get a job, once again, we're told what to do and when to do it. We know what's expected of us and what we'll get in return. If things go badly, someone else is there to pick up the pieces and put things right. We exchange our time and effort for a set reward. To make the step, it's a leap to becoming an entrepreneur means losing all that certainty. We'll no longer be told what to do and when to do it. When things go wrong, it'll be up to us to find a solution. We must provide our own plan and incentives. We must use our imagination and creativity. And we must take all the risks. It's a giant leap. Franchises are popular with new entrepreneurs because they map out a process and come with a manual for the business. They're, if you like, a halfway house. The more explicit and certain the business plan, the higher the cost of the franchise. Top franchises cost millions of dollars and take 3 to 5 years to break even. Less expensive franchises are available, but offer less certainty of success. And some, unfortunately, are real rip-offs where the vendor is the only one making any real money. Ultimately, though, it all comes back to you and your desire. Your desire to make the change and become a successful entrepreneur means that you will have to change as a person. You'll become different and your whole life will change. Most people are not comfortable with change. They prefer to endure what they know rather than to experience the unknown and grow personally. That's the main reason why the vast majority of new businesses fail. Well over 90% of new online entrepreneurs fail to ever make any money, and the offline statistics are not much better. We get what we are and not what we want. We attract what we expect to, and that's usually what we're used to and what we're programmed for. If you strip a successful entrepreneur of his wealth and assets, within a short space of time he'll rebuild them, because that's what he is and what he expects. By the same rule, give someone wealth that they've not earned, that's not their expectation, and they'll not find happiness in that money. They'll often lose it in a relatively short space of time, and this is borne out by many stories of jackpot winners who lost everything. They're not uncommon. Just search jackpot winners who lost everything or a similar phrase online. You see, these people were not wealthy. They had money thrust upon them. It was not what they were or what they expected. And the deeper you delve, the more evidence you'll find that very few big winners actually enjoy or keep their cash. So to become wealthy, you must change first. You must become wealthy before you actually have the money, and then as if by magic you'll start to attract everything you desire. Now, I'm not talking about looking at the world through rose-coloured spectacles. There'll still be time and effort involved, but you'll start to see opportunities that were hidden before. You'll find solutions to problems, and you'll be able to jump over obstacles that stand in your way. A few people achieve this leap because they reach such a low spot in their life that it makes them decide that they're no longer going to accept mediocrity and that they're going to make that change. These stories abound, and some you may know of are Og Mandino, Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, but there are so many more. However, with guidance, help and mentoring, anyone can make the change and take the leap. It'll not always be easy, so here's the cliche. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But it's a true cliche. If you're prepared to make the change, you can, and by making it, you will succeed. Henry Ford said, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. The choice is yours, but it must be a full commitment to yourself, and not just, well, I'll give it a try until, and you can fill in the blanks. There are lots of excuses. You can either make excuses or make the change. I can and will help you to make that change once you take the decision. But please don't give it a try and waste your time and mine. If you want success, my help is available. Just complete the form below and I'll contact you so we can get started.